Hey guys, so today I'm bringing you a new type of video. I think it's new, I just kind of came up with it. So basically it is kind of a reinvention of the monthly wrap-up videos that normal booktubers kind of publish each month to wrap up what they've read during that month. So what I've done is stuffed 3 months into this one video. And I'm just going to give you a quick quarterly rundown of all the books that I read during those 3 months. So hence the title, Quartet Edition. Yeah? Does it make sense now? Hopefully it does. So without further ado, I will get into the books that I have read during these first 3 months of 2015. So the first book that I read in 2015 was such a great book to start my year off with. It was Patrick Ness's A Monster Calls. My best friend gave this to me for my birthday and it was in the hardback edition. So I decided to jump straight into it as fast as humanly possible, and that is what I did. And I really enjoyed it. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I definitely recommend it. It calls to you. Oh my god. Kind of hate myself. And then the second book that I read was A Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. It was superb. It was such a beautiful first installment for a fantasy series. Ugh, you guys are gonna love it. I have a book talk on it, so if you want to go check that out, I'll link it down below. And then the next 3 books that I picked up were in a trilogy. So they were Laini Taylor's A Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and A Dreams of Gods and Monsters, which I read in ebook form. I thoroughly enjoyed this fantasy series. It was such an awesome, exhilarating, intense ride. And the writing was phenomenal. You just need to take a break every now and then because it is so beautiful. It's just an overload of too much perfection. It's just too much. So first off, I gave Daughter of Smoke and Bone a 4.5 star rating, and I have a book talk on these 3 books, so I'll link that also in the down bar, so if you want to go check that out, please do if you wish. The second book I gave 5 out of 5 stars, and the third book I gave 5 out of 5 stars. And then it was February and it came to my attention that Rochelle Mead had finally released The Ruby Circle, the last book in her Bloodlines series, which is the spin-off series of Vampire Academy. So I just marathoned these babies. It was just such a delight to just jump into Rochelle Mead's vampire world again, and I loved it. It was so good. And you might be asking yourself, where is number 2 and where is number 4? Well, I've kind of misplaced The Golden Lily and The Fiery Heart. I went out into the bookstores and was trying to find it, but then the lady's just like, oh yeah, we kind of don't have it. And then I was like, well, I'm not having your attitude, so I left. No, I didn't. So that explains why I only have 4 of these books in my hands, but once I get the missing 2, I will do a full series review on these lovely books. And I gave collectively all of these books 5 stars. I'm a little bit biased that way. I just love it so much. I mean, Adriana Vushkov. Need I say more? I don't think so. Now in March, I just wanted to immerse myself in another series, so I decided to pick up Jennifer L. Armentrout's The Obsidian series, and it was such a fun time. I really enjoyed this series. The first book, however, Obsidian, I gave a 3.8 star rating. I have a Goodreads review on it, so if you want to go check that out, that'll explain my thoughts on it, but It was just too lovey-dovey for me, and it didn't have enough plot. Essentially, that was why I gave it a 3.8 stars. With Onyx, I gave a 4.5 star rating. It was so good, so much better than the first book. And then I jumped into the kind of spin-off little novella, which was Shadows. I gave this a 4 out of 5 star rating. And then I jumped into, of course, Opal, and I'm pretty sure I gave this a 4.5 star rating or a 5 star rating. I cannot remember, but I remember really, really enjoying it. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we get to Origin. This is where it happens. And I gave this book 5 stars. It was so good. And then the conclusion, Opposition, of course I gave 5 stars. The conclusion was fantastic, marvelous. The series just exploded plot-wise, and the characters developed so well, and it just took me on a wild ride, and I was thoroughly impressed. So then, after such an enjoyable series, I picked up Shatter Me once again. This was a reread for me. 5 out of 5 stars, but I'm thinking of putting it down to a 4.5 star rating. It was just, I love it. I love the story. I love the characters, but I felt like the plot and pacing kind of slowed in the middle, and it just dragged for me. So that was its downfall for me, but regardless, it was such a fun book, and I remember loving it just as much as I do now. And then, of course, I picked up the novella, which is essential, and it was Destroy Me, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 star rating. Of course, I had also read this book before, or this novella before, and once again, Warner people. Warner. So there you have it. Those were all the books that I had read in the first 3 months of 2015. Leave me a comment below on your opinions on these books that I have read, and also let me know what I should read in the next 3 months. I'd love to hear from you guys. So thank you for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this new rendition of what's normally considered the monthly reviews. I guess I just like doing things differently or changing things up a bit. It's just my style. I don't know. Who knows? I certainly don't, but we'll find out. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed this, guys, and I will see you guys with another video soon. Bye.